FCC says we are the premier podcast.
The premier.
D. There's still A, B, and C in front of us, but we're catching up. We're catching ground.
That's it. We're going to catch up with them.
That's right. One of these days we'll move up at least to C. But we're getting everything switched over here live on TikTok, live on YouTube for our normal Wednesday night show. Start time at 7:30. Got some great guests in tonight. It's going to be a great show. Have you got it live?
Meeting is now live streaming.
All right. Got it. All right. Let's get this one rolling. I'm excited.
Yes, sir. All right. All righty. Let's go ahead and get the intro and we'll get going.
Yes.
They grew up together. They played the same sports, attended the same schools, and now they even teach together. Live from Nashville, Tennessee, you are listening to the DND Dynamite 80s podcast with your hosts, DC and DH. So guys, take it away. Sign that guy up.
What, whoever stood that open, we need to pay him double what we're paying him, which is zero. So
zero. That's right. That's right, man.
Yeah.
Hey,
all right.
Let's get it rolling. These guys have waited patiently, and as usual, we have some foul ups with our tech, and I don't see you, but that's okay. That's like I told them. It's probably better we didn't see you. So
it's a lot better.
Just keep your eyes on the road and don't run off in the ditch or anything like that, and we'll be good.
Definitely.
I'm not driving.
So I'm
there you go. That's why he's not on. I got you. You're doing the co-pilot thing. I got you.
Yeah, she's co-piloting. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you have joined into another fun-filled episode of D&D Dynamite 80s here on our Wednesday night. I'm DH.
I am DC.
And we're here to take another fantastic look back at all things 80. DC, brother, how's your week been?
It's been a little bit on the low side, but the sun come up and it's going to be great.
Yeah, you've been a little under the weather. Well,
yeah.
I think we've wasted enough time getting everything started here. I'm excited to get this interview rolling. We got some great guests tonight, and let's be honest, you and I are really not that interesting. So
no, we're not. We're not. We just bring great folks to the show.
Yeah. So DC, why don't you go ahead and let's do the introductions and get this one.
My honor. Absolutely. Yeah, we have the members of the 80s Mostly Band. We have Jeff and AJ with us. They're out of the Peachtree. Did I say that right?
Peachtree City.
There it is. Yeah, a little south of Atlanta area.
Yes.
And hey, guys, we appreciate you taking some time to talk about some 80s with us tonight.
Thank you.
Thanks. We love the 80s.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
don't we all? Don't we all? Yeah, I had come across you guys on social media and, was just, intrigued by your website, and it's all, you focus obviously on the 80s, where a lot of like tribute artists and things kind of jump around to different kind of things. You stay right on that, don't you?
Yeah, no, that's the pocket. I mean, I think part of it is like we love the 80s music.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it's like all of the great songwriting from the 60s and 70s. And then you added all the, sky-high vocals, virtuoso guitar playing, gonzo nutty costumes, and it's just such a fun decade to play. And it's also very difficult to get the 80s sound right. So if you can get it, and you can sound like a Journey or Bon Jovi, not a lot of bands can get it right.
That's right.
But getting that sound is really, really difficult.
Yeah.
And one of the things I was interested in, because of the concept where, a lot of bands are like a tribute band to certain artists or whatever,
mm-hmm.
But you guys kind of have that different concept. How did that come about? How did you guys kind of get together and form the band and decide this was?
I knew you was going to steal that question. I knew it. That's what I'm starting with. Thanks.
Well, we'll hop in, AJ, but it's I was playing in a band in Phoenix, was doing casinos.
Oh, wow. Okay.
At a house out there, went back and forth, but we did like all the big casinos all over Arizona, and it was a lot of 80s bands. In fact, I had a deal with Live Nation to do all the pre-shows when Tears for Fears would come through, all of those. So I came back to Atlanta and started all over again at Peachtree City, and just by incredible coincidence, one of my wife's great friends, AJ, I met her before a couple of times. We were just talking about this. I had no idea she could sing. And I was, looking for a female vocalist because I had that in my Phoenix band. And
Right.
she came, I think you'd asked to sing a song in the band. And I was like, Joni, get AJ over here because I want to make sure she's not terrible before we stick her in the band. Sing a song in the band.
Yeah, he actually had a friend on the north side of Atlanta that he played with a little bit. So they had a thing they were going to do here locally. She invited me to come. I said, oh, well, that's really cool. This is a male vocalist. And I said, if they need a girl to hop up and sing like a Pat Benatar song or something like that, I could do that. She goes, well, I didn't know you sing. And I go, well, no one knows I sing because I haven't sang in a long time, but I used to sing when I was younger. And I came over and, threw on some Betty Davis eyes and some Tennessee whiskey or something like that. And he was like, we need 3 hours worth of material, like pronto.
Yeah, I can play a lot of things on guitar, but I have zero vocal ability. What I do have is I can spot a great voice. I've played with a lot of great people, and it's like, I could tell in 10 seconds. I was like, she's got that rasp in the voice. So
yes,
her videos, but it's like, most people can hit notes and they can do all those things, but it's the interest value and the character voice. That's why somebody like Stevie Nicks is so interesting. It's like,
absolutely.
It's not that she breaks glass when she sings notes, but it's a very distinctive voice. Kim Carnes, I mean, and a lot of those vocalists in the 80s had that. And it's very hard to get a female vocalist that can cover it with character. Some can hit the notes, but they just don't have that thing. And that's the factor that we play live. I watch them, like AJ will see them too. It's like she'll sing the first note, like we do Gypsy by Fleetwood Mac. And all of a sudden people they like look up and startle, like, what is that? I mean, it's like they can't believe it sounds like Stevie Nicks. It's,
Sure. Yeah, and AJ, that's what I wanted to kind of hop on to next with that is just the variety that's in your set list. And I want to ask you how difficult some of that is to change over. It's got to be. I couldn't sing if people tried to help me sing.
Well,
so here it is. You go from like, and I assume, do you do all the vocals?
I do all the vocals.
Okay, so that's what I thought. So here it is. DH, if you haven't got a gander at this, you need to kind of check out their set list.
Yes,
but where I was going with this question is this. She goes from singing a song like, let's say, Prince to a Motley Crue song.
Yes.
So I'm asking her, I mean, how difficult is that to try to do? Seems like it would be.
When we design the set lists, he'll send it to me and go, what does this look like to you? And sometimes I'll say, it would be challenging for me to do like that power ballad and that power ballad right next to each other. So let's go like Sharp Dressed Man in between, where you can take more of the guitar and give me a break for a moment.
I got you.
But we literally, you haven't seen us in live.
Yeah.
So we roll from one song to the next. There are no breaks. It's just like sometimes one song, like the ending is coming and there's no pause at all. It was kick right up into the next song.
Wow.
And I go from some of the things that you haven't seen me playing on the YouTube.
Yeah.
Or TikTok is like Lionel Richie.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Range got from Easy by Lionel Richie, Careless Whisper, George Michael, to Prince, to Bohemian Rhapsody, to hair bands, Bon Jovi, Motley Crue.
That's why I was so intrigued. I was just so intrigued with you guys.
Yeah, it makes it fun for me because I love to play all that stuff. You get a big range.
But to me, even if you try to take a break in a certain type of song, the way one song is versus another, if it's not as high pitched, whatever, it's still to me got to be difficult at times.
Well, do you think singing any song is difficult for you?
Right, that's true. Yeah.
I mean, that's the other part is that set list is crazy challenging, but it's also, if you look at you go to a concert, other than Springsteen, nobody's doing a 3-hour concert. Now, that's the thing that cover bands have is you're doing twice as long a show. You go watch Rod Stewart's 90-minute concert, anybody of those guys. This is 3 hours with like little tiny 10-minute breaks twice in the night. So it really isn't what vocalists should be doing, but it's what you have to do to play in a cover band.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah. But she nailed it.
One of the things that we usually someone, and I'm sorry, I'm not monitoring the TikTok or YouTube at this point. I'm still driving, but usually we get a question in, and I'm kind of interested to see this. What are some of the most unique places that you've ever played?
Mm.
Ooh, together. Let's see. Well, you know what? I think one of the funnest places is where we played last weekend. Just it's a place called Grazing here in Peachtree City, but it's like something out of Roadhouse. I mean, it's a big place, and we have a big following. It sells out about a week before we play there.
Wow.
So you go and you got a couple hundred people. It's wall to wall. It's an old school 80s crowd and just singing every song.
Mm-hmm.
But you know,
We played a street festival.
oh well, yeah, we should
That was really cool.
little porch fest.
Oh, the
Porch fest. That's
Amazing.
probably the weirdest one.
Yeah.
Okay, talk about what a porch fest is.
It's the downtown historic area.
Okay.
They're in Georgia, so it's a bunch of antebellum homes.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
the Walking Dead's film.
Yeah, where The Walking Dead is filmed in Sonoy.
Well, there you go. Okay.
But you have all these bands that are come in waves. So like if you were going to show up, there would be a bunch of food trucks and different shops that are open to the downtown area. And
So you're just walking in the streets and
you choose like, okay, so at this time we've got these 4 bands that are playing on the front porch of these different homes on
wow.
street,
Okay.
on this street, on that
what
street.
a cool idea.
And then you can take your lawn chair and just go set up on the front yard of that home. And it's kind of neat because it showcases the beautiful homes that are in the area.
Yeah.
It brings people into the downtown sector to support local business. And it showcases a lot of the local bands and even choirs.
Yeah.
And it's really cool.
Yeah.
But that video is funny. So we did back-to-back Porch Fest, and then we did a
A cul-de-sac.
a cul-de-sac. It's like a
HOA party.
And the funny thing
I
was,
think I've seen the cul-de-sac video.
Well,
yeah.
both of those videos got
Yeah.
300,000 views. We did them back to back,
Yeah.
and what it looked like, because of the way we shot it, it looked like this crazy 80s band is landing on front porches, playing in cul-de-sacs by mailboxes and just blowing the neighbors out. But we were actually hired to play these things.
Yeah.
But the videos, the comments are like, who are these guys? I want them as neighbors. What's going on here?
Yeah.
The worst
cool.
neighbors are the best neighbors. I can't decide.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
We were killing the porches and cul-de-sacs for a while. It was amazing.
Oh man.
I think
That's
if you and
cool
I
stuff.
Play a cul-de-sac, everybody would move out of it really quick.
Yes. Yes. No talent here on our side of the mic.
We played a lot.
But,
I played a lot of venues that are crazy. I did Hollywood Bowl once, so there's big venues, and that's a whole different deal.
That was my next question: is how does that affect? Probably not. As a performer, you want to give your best each time you're up there doing it. So the size of the crowd, does it affect you?
I think it does, because with a lot of what we do is a lot of arena rock, and there is an interplay with the crowd that occurs. Like if you see us at this kind of roadhouse where people are going crazy and they're yelling and singing you just get into it. And AJ, really, I'm still just kind of the dull guitar player, but it's like a whole different show when she gets a crowd going.
Yeah.
Well, I think it helped out. It doesn't, I think we play the same. It's just the performance usually amps up quite a bit.
I got you. Yeah.
We've also been in places where, for whatever reason, we're performing, we're singing our hearts out, we're really throwing it down. And for whatever reason, people are kind of like in a restaurant where they're into each other. And it's not that they don't like us, because they're putting money in the tip jar, but they're kind of congregating in little circles. And it seems as though we can't get their attention. And it's kind of funny because sometimes I'll really overperform at that moment.
I know. When I'm in those crowds, I'm playing the notes right, but I'm not as theatrical. But it doesn't stop AJ. She's still performing, out like a music video.
I'm like, where's my fire?
Yeah. Well, you got to have that front person,
Right.
You do.
That
It ain't me.
personality.
It's her.
I got you.
Musical director is my.
Yeah.
part.
Now, talk to me a minute about, as I read here, and I did see in some of the videos, for maybe larger events that you that you take on, you will add a extra member. Does that member change, or is it the same person? Pretty much.
It's starting to be the same person. So
Okay.
we found this lady, Vicky Saylor. So she's
Yeah.
down here and she's near us in Peachtree City, which is cool
Okay.
because if they just get rid of me, they've got the Go-Go's or the Bangles. But it's you don't see a ton of female drummers. You used to not. She's especially in an 80s band. Like you'll remember, from the Prince days, but
yeah.
She's terrific. So it's a really cool effect when you get her in the mix.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's where I was kind of what I wanted to aim on that question a little bit is because I'd seen her in a video or two.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that is cool stuff.
She sings. She has a headset, so she does harmonies.
Oh, okay.
She can actually take the lead on songs like "Hit Me With Your Best Shot," and she's got a good voice.
Oh, very good.
So, she has.
So that helps at times. Yeah.
Yeah, it does help a lot. And
yeah, sure.
She's super engaging. She smiles a ton, and people just love her.
It makes 2/3 of the band becomes interesting instead of just half when she's there. So it's
sure.
Oh, please. People are on top of him, we've had women throwing wet paper towels at him for his fingers smoking.
Usually she's got about 60 guys ready to marry at the end of the night, and I've got like two bros that are into playing guitar and are watching everything I do, and they're like high-fiving me, and that's all I got.
Oh wow, that's cool. That is cool stuff. Speaking of female drummers, we interviewed Gina Shock.
Yes.
Was it last year, DH? It was in December.
Yes.
Or a year ago, last December. Yeah.
Yes.
And what was cool about that was, I don't know if she does a lot of interviews this way, but she happened to be at a practice session. She was helping in her hometown. I think she's from Baltimore originally, or that area, somewhere in Maryland like that. And it was a benefit of some sort. She was helping with she was drumming for a local band there or something anyway, she had cut the practice session, and so she's sitting on the drums through the whole interview. So how cool is that? Her craft, the craft that she became well known doing, and she's interviewing behind a set of drums. So that was one of our cool interviews that we thought that we've had.
Whenever you guys want to hear a song, tell us. We have guitars all around us.
Oh, absolutely.
Hey,
yeah.
Let's hear one.
Yeah, let's hear one.
All right, let's see.
DH, are you close, man?
We'll do acoustic, which, not all of these songs start on acoustic. You want to do, what do you want, Dead or Alive, or pick another one?
Let's do Prince Soda first.
Okay.
All right, so here they are.
All right.
The mostly 80s band.
This song doesn't belong on acoustic, but we're going to play it on acoustic, so.
Been a hard young boy. Let away the young boy. Now I get you all the smoking. All the young boy with a feeling like you. With a feeling like you. Oh, no, there's a thing that you do that day. Just you come on me.
All right.
There you go.
Good stuff. Yeah, a little John Cougar Mellencamp or John Cougar or whatever he's going by this week, right?
A standing ovation from the vehicle.
Yeah, the standing ovation in the vehicle. Awesome.
That was awesome.
I'd flip everything over if I'd try to stand up and ovate in here, but there you go.
Yeah, we do. What's kind of fun is one thing we do, like Hurt So Good doesn't fit on acoustic, but it's kind of funny to hear. We do a lot of songs that I'll take from keyboard and transpose over to guitar. So a song like Sweet Dreams, which is 100% synthesizer. You
Absolutely.
Posted, it's like we have a rockin' version of that song that is totally our version. Nobody else plays it like
Does
us.
it that way?
It's
Yeah.
Yeah, very different version of it.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got a whole guitar lead section in the middle we put in. So we do a lot of those, and they'll become signature songs. So people know, oh, I want to hear their version of Sweet Dreams. Some of them we play just like the record. I mean, if we're trying to do a Bon Jovi or Journey, we're probably following pretty close. But
Yeah.
some of
We
those
did
ones.
Maniac recently.
Oh yeah.
Oh, wow.
And there is a part that has the keyboard when you're going in.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes.
He
Very
actually
well known
put the
part.
keyboard part in it.
Yeah.
And I was blown away when I did it. I was like,
yeah,
oh,
it's the, let's see if I can, oh, it's hard on acoustic. It's got that weird little.
Yeah.
You gotta go.
Yeah. Yeah. I got what you're saying. Now, let me ask you this as a musician. Let me ask you this. When you turn those type of parts into your own, I know it's obviously it's creative, but can it be complicated to make it work?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's trial and error, I would assume, right?
Part of what we do, so one of the secrets of the band is there are only 3 of us. So what we'll do is basically I create a track that will fill in bass and keys. So I mix that and create that.
So it's your own tracks. I got you.
So and then what we do is when I can, I'll almost always cover the keyboards on guitar. So I'll put as little. So a song like Everybody Wants to Rule the World has this big keyboard part that just goes. So we shift everything and that whole.
Yeah.
That whole middle section is all keyboard, but you close it and you put it on an electric and it has this huge sound. So we're constantly creating our own versions of these songs.
Yeah.
And,
and sometimes we'll do the songs and we'll kind of go, it's missing something. It needs to be a little more like we did Keep on Loving You by REO Speedwagon.
Oh, we finally got that.
There was this part it's kind of like this was it strings that were really high?
Yeah.
And we had to figure out how to build it so that it was big enough, because we're seeing it and it's like the background track even though it was all there was something that needed to be balanced. And he's been so much time.
Oh, it's an insane amount of time for these songs.
Like I think he has insomnia and he never sleeps actually.
I think that each song we want to be perfect. So it's like,
sure.
Like we couldn't Keep on Loving You to sound at the level. I've heard REO play it 2 years ago in concert. If we can't get at that level, we don't play it. So it's like, and it's very hard in a small club to sound like an arena rock band. So you have to get a lot to it. How you make the guitar sound, how you do the keys, drums, all of that to get, drums got a lot of reverb on them. So they have that boom, boom. Like Bryan Adams' Summer of '69, you got reverb on the drums. Pow! Yeah. That's why you're hearing it. That gives you that big arena sound. So there's a lot.
We've tried doing Addicted to Love by Robert Palmer.
And
we just can't seem to get it to sound big enough. So I went on YouTube and I watched him singing it live in concert, and I'm like, Jeff, he can't make it sound really big either.
Okay.
Also, by the way, that
are just so synthesized. They sound great in a recording studio.
Let's say anything in the last 20 years, you see any of those performers live, and there's so much electronic music.
Sure. Well, and I'd say age-wise, for some of those guys, they need that.
Yeah.
They need that help nowadays, at the ages they're trying to perform.
Right.
They need that help. So, I get that.
We can feel that.
We can feel that pain for sure.
On Spotify, where with the Scorpions, there's 2 versions. Like, which one is, and why are they different? And it's actually because they brought it one down half a step. So
we looked at the 2011 version, 20 years later, it's down a half step or a whole step.
Right.
Right. Deep in his voice.
Well, DH is glad to see you in your studio there, man.
I'm getting everything's coming up.
So you are real. Everybody can see that he is a real person.
I am real.
Yes.
I
Yes.
am real. I was better without a picture. I look much better. I'll just say that.
Oh man.
I'm
Oh
pulling
man.
up YouTube right now, so I'll be coming up with some questions here.
I know you will. Yeah, I can't do all this. I'm not
Uh,
multitasker like you are.
I didn't know you were doing any of it.
Oh, well, really not. I'm not. Yeah, I fake it real good.
Hey, I think while I'm loading here and getting everything ready, I think it's time for the question of the night. And the
All
reason I
right.
say that is because you're going to ask the
Yeah,
question.
I do need another free breakfast on Friday.
But, here's the thing now. I'm not trying to influence anything. DC, I'm going to let you kind of explain it, and then
Okay.
I'm going to say a little bit about it before you say the question.
Sure you are. Go ahead. But
So,
you're not going to influence.
I'm not influencing anything. All
Right.
I'm going to say is I stepped on a pop top, tore up my flip flop. I had to limp all the way back home, and I had to
Did you eat a
have
cheeseburger in paradise tonight?
I'm having my cheeseburger in paradise while you're asking the question.
Okay.
So I'm not influencing anything.
I went ahead and added to your torture to me.
Yes, I'm
All
not influencing. DC always says I try to influence our guests on these, but
Okay.
I'm not. I'm going to let him explain what's going on.
So here's what we got going on. We've done this, I don't know, DH, maybe a year or so.
And for some reason, this has become like one of the most popular.
And people that follow, like, well, what's the question in the next month or whatever? And so it was kind of one of these gag things that we started, and we like, okay, well, people kind of like it, so we've done it, and I like it when I win because I get a free breakfast. So there we go. So hopefully I'm on a good roll with this right now. So that'll work.
This week is my week.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So here's what we do. We'll put either bands against each other for our guests to choose which one they prefer. Sometimes we've done artists. Sometimes we've done a solo artist versus a band. So we've done this about, I don't know, we run it about 2-3 months at a time, the same question. So this one we're about done with probably in the next guest or two probably. It's been quite a while run for me. Oh, shucks. But here it is. Our post-conference of our shows when we debrief is held at the Waffle House on Friday mornings.
The big
Before school. That's our business. So that's our business conference room. Yeah. Don't have two of you up there, please. That was like nightmarish. All right. So here's the deal. DH, jump in here if I've missed one. I think the first one we did was Motley Crue versus Van Halen.
Yes.
I got killed on that one.
I'm off the floor with that.
I was Motley Crue.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So I was toasted. I got toasted on that one.
Yes. Very
Then
much.
my next one, I kind of got some ground on. We did Prince versus Michael Jackson.
Yes.
And Prince won out on that one overall.
Yep.
So I started catching up on that one. And
then
I really started toasting you.
Well, we did something different.
Yeah. We did what was it? Bryan Adams. It was a solo artist. Who did I have?
You had Journey.
I had Journey.
That's a good matchup.
So Journey. So here I am. I'm on a roll.
So
I'll tell you how many breakfasts he bought me, by the way, here in a second.
This one came about because I'm riding around on a Sunday.
Yeah, here's the one we're on now.
And I called and I'm listening to XM, and I had it on the Elvis channel, and you switch over, and I went to Margaritaville, and I thought, wow, that would be interesting to see Elvis versus Jimmy Buffett. And, since it's 5:00 somewhere, I thought we might as well do this tonight. And DC always says I try to influence people. I just like to share margaritas with everybody. I don't know what his problem is.
All right.
So I'm going to let him ask the question because I don't want to say that I influenced anything. I'm going to sit back in my flip-flops and just enjoy my margarita and my cheeseburger in paradise right here while I'm.
You're not right. You're not right.
I'm not wrong either.
So, all right, Jeff, you're up first. What would be your
Elvis versus Jimmy Buffett is Elvis. Influence, obviously, it was a ripple through time after Elvis. Everything that came after, and a lot of the musicians he played with, but that Jimmy Buffett had influence, but it's like, yeah, you're throwing like Hendrix in the mix or the Beatles,
Right.
like you're throwing Elvis. You're gonna probably lose on that one, DH.
Yeah.
Well,
Not that the likability. I'd love to listen to Jimmy Buffett all day long. Pirate turns 40. What did I have on this? Son of a sailor.
yes.
Right.
Yes.
Son of somebody. Yeah.
It's like, what does that make you? I don't know.
Oh,
Right.
man.
Where are you at, AJ?
I heard recently that with AI, they're working on developing 3 concerts that will be holograms of the original artist.
Mm.
And they are Elvis, Frank Sinatra, and Michael Jackson.
Wow.
I believe that they could actually pack out, arenas.
Wow.
And
Can you imagine? Oh my God.
Wow.
And I have my Elvis ring on tonight, so.
Oh, you did.
I kind of
It was meant to be.
Yes.
It was meant to be.
So DC, what I'm hearing here is they really like Elvis, but they're preferring Jimmy Buffett tonight. That's kind of what I'm hearing.
No, I don't think I heard it that way.
Okay, in honor of, let's see. I played that song about 8,000 times in bands.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Now, yeah, go ahead and tell them how many breakfasts you've actually bought on this deal.
So here's the deal. Whoever wins, the other buys breakfast. So DC, on Friday morning when we do our recap, this week I'm paying for your 4th refill of coffee because you usually only have 3. So we won't even get to the 4th refill. I'll pay for.
There we go.
You're on your own.
Well, that's you're definitely stepping up.
See, making
I
it.
want to ask, do y'all always order the same thing, or do you get a variety?
Pretty much.
Here's the thing. We used to make fun of the old guys that went into Waffle House on like Friday morning.
Now we're them.
Now we're the old guys at Waffle House. I'm sitting there one morning and we're talking. I look around. I said, "Man,
we're one of them.
We're the old guys now. What happened? Where did it go?"
Yeah, where'd it go? Kind of like the hair, right?
Hey, you had to go there, right? Look,
well, I cover mine.
I'm growing it here. I'm going to shave it. And
Me too.
It here to see how it's going to work out.
That's right. That's exactly right. Guys, let me ask this as well.
Wait a minute. I'm going to use my Miracle Grow here. Look here.
Oh my God!
Oh, there we go.
Please not.
I'm good. I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm gonna do
there
the rest
of
the show in this.
Yeah, go ahead. Finish the show in that.
Yeah.
We'll see how many. We'll see how many guests drop off here. So thanks for that. We appreciate that. Yeah, yeah. But no, we love to ask this question, and we even ask it like to any of the actual artists that we might interview as well that are in those particular groups. But I'm always fascinated by the answers we get. Why is this 80s thing, even it doesn't really matter what age it is, that it's still around and as strong as it is?
So we were just talking about it. It's like, I mean, we play the crowds and they're like 25 to 75.
Sure.
My take on it, having I know I look so young, having lived, so does AJ. I definitely lived through the 80s. It's some of the craziest, funnest, nuttiest music ever, with the craziest, nuttiest attire, and what people wore, and the stage. It was like rock and roll that you stuck like 10,000 volts of electricity into. I mean, you think of Elvis and all of a sudden you're at the Motley Crue, and it's just these bands in the 80s were so big and so crazy, and there was so much diversity from Madonna to Prince. Like, you talk about our set list. I mean, that's what's fun, is it's an insane amount of diversity, complex, right? I think it's, for those in the 80s, you love it, you still love it. For everybody else, it's their classic rock now.
Yeah.
I don't know. You love the 80s.
Also, like, I think that there's sort of a wholesomeness that was going on at that time, and there weren't a lot of like global issues going on, where I know that when you travel even out of the country, like you'll even hear 80s music being played, and I think the older generations right now are still playing the Goonies for their kids. I mean, we're still, and I almost like, what was the name of the guy that was the robot for the new wave of Coke?
Max Headroom.
Yeah.
Max Head- yeah.
Yes.
But that
Yeah,
was the
Max,
beginning of
yeah.
AI, and now you've got so many people that are studying about, all of the AI stuff, and that, I mean, really, it sort of set like a foundation into what we cruised into now. You look at Money for Nothing, and we need our refrigerators and microwaves, and
Right.
it really is kind of the beginning of where we are now. It's still relevant,
Right.
but it's
So-
not.
I think something also that you make him remember is, MTV was a game changer.
Yes.
Was it what was it, 81 or whenever,
It wasn't
video
so
killed the
much
radio
released,
star.
right?
It's got the
Ah,
MTV.
the MTV, yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
But
one
I
of
mean,
the
that,
things,
that visualization, I mean, if you
Yeah.
think about music in the 70s, you didn't see a lot of videos of bands unless you saw them live. Now in the
Yeah.
80s, you got Duran Duran, Billy Idol, all these, Pat Benatar, all these video stars, and their crazy nut minute work, Tears for Fears, these nutty videos that you had. So it just brought it to life in a different way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
The
then,
rhythms,
I mean,
Oh my
there's-
gosh. Yeah.
there's
I hope I
there's so
say
much
this
going on
name.
in the 80s that was kind of like the precursor to everything that is now. And
Right.
It was the beginning
We'll
of
co-
a new era.
We'll come back to that in a second because I've got one of those videos that stick out to DH and myself
Yes.
as we were growing up. But go ahead, DH. You
I hope I
got
say
somebody
this
on the
name-
line there?
Yes, I hope I say this name right. Bethia says hi, guys.
Thank
I
you,
hope I
Beth.
said the name right. Hi, Bethia. Thank you.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that excited me about this week that you guys touched on, because DC and I have talked about this before. Back in the 80s, I was more of the hair metal person, but you listened to everything. It didn't matter. You
Yeah.
would listen to Lionel Richie one day, Billy Joel. It was just all over the place.
Well, on the same hour.
Yes. I mean,
yeah.
on the same station, KDF here in Nashville.
KDF played it all. You're right.
Yes.
That's what I was about to say. Yeah. Yeah, sure did.
And that's one of the things that when I saw the set list that you guys do, I'm like, wow, that is the 80s.
That is the 80s.
That's
Absolutely.
the 80s right there, because it didn't matter what genre. I mean, you listened to it and it was good and you enjoyed it. I mean, I did prefer the metal more, but you listen to everything.
No, you're right. It's like, and I think over time, what's interesting is like a lot of like genres like new wave bands like The Cure. They were kind of nichey in the day. Like if you were dressed up like goth and looked a little funny, you loved The Cure and bands like But they became very mainstream later. I think a lot of people you look at the Spotify plays on a Cure song of 800 million plays. I mean,
It's crazy. Yeah.
those bands, so many bands got bigger even after the 80s, which is crazy. I mean, you look at concert tours.
Yeah.
You see these bands like GNR. I mean, they appeared in the late 80s.
Right. Well, you had the girls trying to dress like Madonna.
Yeah.
And you had,
and you had DC
Michael
wearing-
Jackson, with
DC wearing his red leather pants like Eddie Murphy.
I don't think so. No. Or the parachute pants. You need to bring back the parachute pants.
I wonder if I still have my parachute pants somewhere now.
They may cause friction if you wore
I
them
would
now.
start a forest fire with them now, but back in the day, I had some.
Right. The members only jacket, I would probably bust the seams out of it trying to put it on. I'm sure it's at my parents' house though. They keep everything.
It's probably there somewhere.
The girls would get the Jordache jeans.
Oh, that's
Sure.
And then sit in the bathtub of ice to shrink them
Yeah.
and use a coat hanger to pull off the
Yes.
zipper.
Crazy. Oh, the video, to get back to the video stuff you were talking about. One that DH and I used to, what did the show, other than MTV, the other one that was out a lot was Night Tracks, right?
Yes, Night
The
Tracks.
TBS out of Atlanta put on.
Yes.
We could get it in Nashville off of
Turner.
TBS, and the show was called Night Tracks, where they played like all the greatest videos, latest and greatest. And one of them that I know, I was either spending the night at your house or whatever. We lived on the same street, so we've known each other forever.
Even though you're older.
23 days older, correct?
Still
Just
counts.
23 days.
Still counts.
But so since we've been able to speak, we've known each other. But anyway, the one that DH that's sticking out to me that I know that we always kind of got a kick out of watching, even at that age, was Men Without Hats.
Safety dance.
The safety dance. Man, you talking about a production that video was. But it's stuck, you know, even
Yes.
40 plus years from, you know, later, it's still printed in your mind exactly what they were, you know, the performance they were
And
putting
think
on.
about when you really think about that song.
It's
That's
crazy.
probably one of the silliest songs you've ever heard.
Absolutely.
But it's an amazing song. And
But
when
it sticks
comes
with
on-
you.
When it
It
comes
sticks
on
with
to this day, you still crank it up. It's kind of like Love Shack. You know, when
That's
it
right.
comes, you're cranking
Love
it,
Shack,
you
it's a
know?
fun song.
You know?
Yeah.
And you're driving down the road doing this with Safety Dance. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's just,
It's crazy.
it's awesome. You
Yep.
know?
Yep.
I think the video thing is so you had directors like Spike Jonze. I mean, big directors were shooting.
Mhm.
You know, you look back on, I don't know, David Fincher. I think David Fincher started in videos. I mean, a lot of those huge directors that go on to do big feature films, they were shooting videos in the 80s.
That's right.
It's crazy, like
Yeah.
the production value, and then you know that there was, I mean, you know, the Michael Jackson, those are 7-figure productions. I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah.
You know,
Many
and
movies.
Speaking of that, we had a gentleman on a few months ago that was he's a video history buff, like an expert
right.
in music videos. And you need to see that on our YouTube if you hadn't seen that one.
Oh,
It's
wow.
it's really interesting. The guy is just a book of knowledge. And this shocked me, but I think it was called was it Victory, the song Victory
Yes.
that the Jacksons put out
Yes.
like
I
in the late
remember, yeah,
80s.
Jackson 5.
Yeah.
When they were
Well-
all older.
Right.
Right.
Well, at the end of the video, it's like done in a warehouse or something. It's real dark and all this. Well, Michael had a falling out with the brothers over the deal. Didn't want to do the video or something. He explains it in our video or our interview what happened. But anyway, so they wasn't gonna like leave him out of the video. So they went downtown to one of those wax museums and borrowed the Michael Jackson wax museum dummy.
Every minute. Yeah.
So if you see it, you need to see it on YouTube. And I've went back and looked at it, and you can kind of see that it's a figure.
That's hilarious.
So anyway, in the last scene, you know, where they're all kind of lined up together at the very end of the song, it's a Michael Jackson dummy
Wow.
borrowed from the wax museum down the street.
That is
And
incredible.
So yeah, but he told a lot of cool stories. We got to have that guy back.
And ladies, and
We didn't have
gentlemen,
enough time with him. It
If
was
you
good
wanna-
stuff.
If you want to
For sure.
comment on DC calling Michael Jackson a dummy, all emails go to him.
Yeah, I'll take all the negative. I always get
Okay,
the
I
negative
can't remember
feedback.
her last name, but in a room full of 3 men from the 80s, I know y'all will know. But she was in the White Snake videos, Tawny.
Catan.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
You know,
like, wasn't her
and-
whole career shaped out of just doing like the videos?
Yeah.
Honestly?
Ironically, when we first got started in this, she was going to be one of our first guests and tragically passed away.
Gosh,
We were in
oh,
the process of trying to get a date set up for that.
Oh,
So yeah, that's kind of how we
Yeah.
got started with this. Was like, oh wow, that was a
wow.
big hit to the gut.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
yeah,
she was beautiful, but all that she
Yeah.
did with like the acrobats over the
Right.
concerts and everything like that. I mean,
Yeah.
like videos were everything, you know?
That's
Sure.
right. And it was, I mean, and
Yeah.
you had, I mean, and you know, a lot of the images of the bands back there. I mean, you look at like Motley Crue back in the beginning when there was
Mhm.
video, and the difference as they progressed. I mean,
hmm
just Rat. I mean,
Oh
back
yeah,
in the
Brad.
day. Yeah, you know, it was really fun.
tell them your deal on Rat.
We talk about being here in Nashville when we back in the 80s. It didn't matter who came to town to play. Rat was a special guest. You would hear like Motley Crue, special guest Rat. Lawrence
George
Welch,
Jones,
Lawrence
the
Welch,
special group
guest
Rat.
Rat. You know, they were
They
open
were
for
they were a
everybody.
special group for everybody.
I mean,
It didn't
was
matter
so
if it's
amazing.
bluegrass or no.
It didn't matter.
We-
They were there.
Yeah, we're going overboard with that, but our point was, anytime you wanted to go see a concert, Rat was probably going to be like one of the.
And they put
opening
on a great
acts.
show.
Oh yeah, but yeah.
I
We
went to
always kind of joke
when
about that.
Opryland was open, I went to get on the Screaming Delta Demon, and there was Rat opening up for the ride. I'm like, hey,
Right.
good, let's roll.
That's right. That's about what you got used to hearing in
Right.
Nashville.
But
Hey, look at
Because
that.
the running joke was like, okay, what's some of the concerts coming out? And we would always say, well, we know Rat's going to be with all,
Yeah, Rat's
pretty
gonna
much
be
all
there.
of them.
There's still
there you go.
Stephen Piercy. I mean, he had a voice.
Yeah.
And,
Oh yeah.
and Warren DeMartini was a killer guitar player. That was a great band. And one guy died of AIDS. That the other guitarist. Yeah, it was tragic.
And I figured out. I knew exactly when I reached Ode. When our
tell me.
When our metal bands started being used in Geico commercials, we have rats in the attic. I'm old at that point.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
There you go.
That's another great video. That was another great video.
Amazing video, yeah.
Which one?
When they're up in the attic playing round and round.
From the Geico commercial?
Yeah.
No, the actual true video.
Oh, okay.
Where they're over and the people are at the table eating dinner and it's
Like that's right. Was that what's the big
Milton Berle?
Yeah.
Milton Berle was like two different characters. He was dressed up as a woman and he was
that's what is the name? What's the song? It's I can
Round and Round.
Yeah. Round and Round. That was a great song.
Yeah. But Rat, it was a great idea. Here's a rat playing up in the ceiling, up into the attic, over top of them. That's one of those unique videos too.
And I'm gonna be honest with you. That's why I'm gonna just the pure abilities and the playing abilities and your talents that you have as live performers.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I appreciate the most because that's what reminds me of the 80s. It's a lot of times these days it's synthesized music and they're out there with a track, just singing. But to see you guys perform and the live performances and
the energy
talent you have and the energy.
Yeah.
So I appreciate what y'all do because that gives everyone to me, and I've told DC this before and I've said it on the show before, that kind of gives everyone that brief moment just to get away from your troubles. Enjoy the live entertainment, enjoy the musicianship you guys put on display, and just, relax and enjoy something. So
what a gift. Absolutely. What a gift you're giving back to people.
We had an evening that we were playing at it's actually a really nice restaurant that we play at pretty regularly up in Atlanta. And there was a group of people that were in there, and this one girl was like playing air guitar on her leg at the bar, and she was having such a great time. And they were dancing and dancing and dancing. And every time a new song would start, she would go, "Oh my God," and start singing along. And at one point she looked at us and she goes, "I have been trying to leave for 2 hours. I can't leave." Because it was just, one, and it's exciting.
Yeah.
When you see somebody get that, energy and just a reconnection kind of with what they love and the energy of their youth. And
there's nothing like I was telling you that it's like if you want to have the most amazing experience in your life, it's like join a rock band. I mean, there is nothing like playing live music like that. Nothing. I mean, and the things that AJ and I do. I mean, vocals connect with people in a way that's magic. Electric guitar. I lean far more on electric than to acoustic, as you hear with all the videos. It's like you can sing through that and you see the connection and like how people, when you play a note, when you sing a note, how they react. It's like magic. I mean, it's fun to play in the basement like this, but just with the live audience, it's so different.
Well, AJ, you kind of touched on it, and I have to, anytime we go to a show, I have to kind of watch DC because he's now, from his dancing, it's so bad he's been banned from several places because he gets up and just starts, and there's no stopping.
No stopping it. Right. No stopping.
Well, we won't ban you. You come anytime and you dance as much as you want. We won't.
There we go.
When you see DC, you may change that.
Yeah, you may change your mind. Yeah.
We will not let that happen.
Speaking of areas, do you play outside your regional areas some, or have you done some of that?
We haven't. See, we've only been playing together about a year, so.
Okay.
We haven't been together for a year.
Yeah. No, we're not even a year.
Not even a year.
Yeah.
Wow.
So end of April will be our 1 year anniversary, gigaversary.
Okay.
So we really,
Gigaversary. That's cool.
Yeah, it's our gigaversary.
I think what we did is we focused on creating a perfect 80s show. That's why you got a crazy diversity of songs. There's song to song. There's no breaks. Everything is like a boom, boom, boom. It's like a DJ, but it's live. I mean, there's no stopping. Everything just goes. That we really didn't focus a whole lot on booking. And I would say or on anything else. I mean, we put up a website, AJ did a great job on social media.
Oh,
The band
outstanding.
took
Yeah.
off. I mean, we had a couple of those videos with 200,000 or 300,000 views, and then it just started sticking. And then
what it is that I look at a lot of other bands that are performing pretty regularly, I think, but you go to their social media, and you look to find a clip of them performing, and there's a lot of still photos, but there's rarely any actual sound or performing. So
That's exactly right.
I was like, I'm gonna take a little snippet of every gig that we do and put it on just so that people can see the variety of songs that we offer in our set list. And
AJ needs to work our technical stuff. That's what I'm hearing.
Well, we ended up getting a lot of private parties, where we're playing like Christmas parties, birthday parties, and a lot of other private events that people. And sometimes people are like, "Oh, we have our 40th high school reunion coming up, and we need you to be there."
Perfect.
It'll be a lot of fun.
Well, we had offers when the video started hitting,
Mm-hmm.
and you got to understand, for you guys, a lot of video hits, but for a cover band in Atlanta, I started looking it up, and I'd add up every video view that one of the top 2 or 3 cover bands in Atlanta. It'd be like 10,000 views, and people would ask us how many views you have, and it'd be like 800,000. I mean, we add up our videos like we just hit something that struck a nerve.
Yeah.
And we got an offer to play a wedding in Australia. I mean, we started getting things all over the country.
New Orleans.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
So much in Atlanta. It's such a big market. We haven't driven more than probably 60 miles, but at some point, like we talked about doing Key West, but we have day jobs actually, unfortunately.
Sure.
We're gonna go to Uptown eventually.
But we'll start doing more and more around, and you get time into vacations.
Sure.
I'd love to do Vegas at some point. I mean,
Yeah. Well, hopefully we can definitely hear you in Nashville at some point.
Yes.
Nashville. We play Nashville.
Yes.
We drive there. That'd be easy.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, you're here. And if you come up, I'll even buy your 4th refill at the Waffle House on coffee. Look at that.
Now we're in.
Yeah.
That's great, 'cause
That seals the deal.
When we're hungry after a gig.
Yeah. You can just have you can be in our post conference
DC
together.
will buy
there,
the food, and I'll buy the refills on coffee. So we're set.
Right. Well, tell us some stuff that you got coming up and some about your social, where everybody can see. Because I have. DH knows, and I've been able to see a lot of great stuff. Let everybody know.
You do the social piece. I'm the website developer. AJ's the social media coordinator.
Well, what we do have a gig coming up soon where it will be probably the first gig that we'll have a lot of bikers that are there, like motorcycles. So that'll be exciting because we tend to gear our set list, because we do offer such a variety of tunes towards whoever the audience is. So we may do more Southern rock, and
there you go,
more of the classic, the hard rock, stuff like that. So it'll be fun, and we're excited about that. And
well, we pretty much have every month. If anybody's ever in Atlanta, they want to drive south to Grazing Ear, we're there almost every month, and you just have to know that you'll have to stand if you don't call in a week early to get a table. but it's a thing, and it's a lot of fun.
And the dance floor is completely packed, and nobody is on an iPhone.
That's all.
Wow.
And see, we ought to make a trip, and I'll even let you buy my dinner at the Varsity.
There we go.
There we go.
We'll take care of you guys. You come down.
We need to plan a trip, DC.
Absolutely. Let's do a road trip,
man.
man.
Your move, and you don't have to worry about getting tossed out. So you got
right. Yeah, I'm not from here anyway. So there you go. No, biker, the biker event. Let me maybe give you fair warning on that. We did a tribute band out of Dallas area. It was a tribute, Def Leppard tribute.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, is that
first of the year?
Legend. What was the one? Was that
Def Legend?
Def Legend.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And one of their most unique experiences was playing like a biker rally. And like the lead guitarist said, and he was the guy that was the former, the member or the originator of the band too. But anyway, he said, I couldn't get out of my head some of the 70-plus-year-old ladies and what they were showing us up front. I will never get rid of that, erase that from my memory bank. So just heads up on that as it comes closer. Never know what you're going to get.
You know, what's funny is that I'm sure you've noticed, like, I cover a lot of songs that are actually, like, I do Jesse's Girl.
Yeah.
You know, or you know, Hurt So Good. I'm talking about, you know, how good this girl looks or whatever, you know?
Right.
And I like to really, you know, connect with the audience.
Right.
So whenever I'm like, you know, I need a girl like you, I'm always looking at some woman in the audience. And I'm like, girl like you.
Yeah.
And they're always kind of like, yeah.
There you go. Making the connection. Yes.
It's fun.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, we need to definitely, DH, get a trip down
We
and
need
see
to
these
plan a
guys
trip.
for sure.
Yes, we need to plan a trip, maybe do a little bit of a live snippet before they go on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sure.
Then we'll even video DC dancing so everybody out there can see it.
No, we want to keep people looking on our stuff, so we don't want to put that on there.
Well, I don't know that they look on our stuff. Have you seen our faces? They get on. They get on here to see our guests. I think they black out.
You're
the
right.
screen.
You're exactly right. But Jeff and AJ, it's been a pleasure.
Oh, it has been.
All the best to you. Just keep doing what you're doing and giving out all that pleasure to
Yes.
people. And man, what a gift! Absolute gift.
Oh.
Yeah. Could you hang there and let us kind of wrap up before you take off on us?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess that's my key to put my bifocals on so I can read our exit as we go out.
Yeah, go ahead. Do that.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to wrap it up for another episode of D&D Dynamite 80s. We appreciate our guests joining us tonight. And remember, you can catch us on Anchor, Spotify, Breaker Radio, Radio Republic, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, on the TikTok, Facebook, website, Google Podcast. Anywhere we can put our ugly faces, we're going to put them out there for you. So you're welcome on that. So we're also going to get a video of DC busting a move, so we can all enjoy that coming up here soon.
Not happening.
And as I end off every week, as I throw it back over to DC, folks, remember, it doesn't cost anything extra to be kind, so always be kind to each other. DC?
Hey, amen, brother. Amen. Hey, coming up next week, we got a Journey tribute band, DSB Band. Man, what a unique name that is. So don't stop believing, I think is what they meant by that. So the DSB Band out of California.
Gonna be a
And one of the tribute artists, I think it was a Pat Benatar tribute artist, put us on to these gentlemen, and they are fantastic.
Hey,
So,
also,
they actually had to do a reschedule with us, and we got them. We finally got them worked out that it's next week for us. So we're looking forward to that one. Week after that, why would they promote us? I don't know. But Livewire, we appreciate it. They've got us on one of their big posters on their website. That we made it, man.
Well,
we've arrived.
DC, I know why they did that. It's
Why's
tournament
that?
season, so everybody needs scarecrows, so they can just print them right off and put
Right.
them out.
Right.
Hey,
So
don't
anyway,
forget-
so on April 3rd, Livewire, the
Yes.
tribute to Motley Crue. I think those guys are out on the east coast on us here. So more closer to our neck of the woods. So anyway, so some exciting stuff coming up. Do you know we are booked and we are starting to get shows booked in September already?
Wow. Amazing.
So we are
appreciate
full up
everyone.
every Wednesday through August.
Thank you to everyone. Now, DC, also I want you to give a shout out about an interview that we actually got asked to do an interview for the.
I don't know why. They must have been hard up for some news. I don't know.
A slow news.
No. We are very, very honored to a magazine here in the Nashville area wanted to do a interview on our podcast show. And so we sent all that information in to them, and we look forward to that. Well, we might look forward to that coming out.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see how it works out. But
we sent pictures, so we're not sure it's ever going to make it.
Right.
I mean,
She may not get back to me. I don't know.
I probably wouldn't.
No. But anyway, that we appreciate all the support, folks, and on the
Yes,
YouTube
definitely.
and all the places that you're watching this crazy stuff on. It's been a fun ride, and we are on our anniversary. We started this gig in March of 20?
Yes, we're coming up on year 4. Can you
Year
believe
4.
that? Wow.
With a $5 microphone plugged into our cell phone that we started our first podcast with,
Hey, and
to
here's the cool part.
these fantastic home studios we got.
And the cool part is we haven't got any better at this.
No.
Yes.
No, hadn't got any better.
It's good. So, you know.
Right.
But
Right,
you are
no.
keeping the 80s alive. And
That's
thank
right.
you for what you're doing. Thank you.
for having
Thank you.
us.
Well, we appreciate y'all,
Yes,
and
definitely.
we'll stay in touch. All the best to you, for sure. Let me get our sponsors in here real quick, and I'll say my final word and get on out of here with us.
Sounds good.
DND Dynamite 80s would like to thank their sponsors: Hudson's Flags and More, The Nesting Project of Smyrna, Tennessee, PJG Marketing, and our latest and greatest sponsor, Totally Cool 80s.
Yes, where's the
You
book?
can check
Where's
out
the book?
all these great folks online. Yes, check out Tammy Deaver,
Yes.
Totally Cool 80s. What a great sponsor she is. And
Oh, yes.
guys, I want to tell you, she's got a couple of these books she's put out. And if you think you know 80s, we didn't know 80s. We got scorched
Wow.
when she was doing a lot of that. But these are great books.
It
And
got so
we had a
bad.
blast looking through this.
It
and I'm
got so
terrible.
bad.
I'm
She
terrible.
actually, to let us get one right, she said, "Okay, I'm
I'm going to the easiest section.
I'm going to give you the year
Yeah.
1980, and you tell me the last 2 numbers." And we finally
Right.
got one right.
We finally got one right. Yeah. So anyway, check out all her cool stuff at Totally Cool 80s. She's got 2 or 3 of these books that she's put out, and she does all kinds of books, and very talented lady. Matter of fact, she's coming up as a co-host on several of our shows.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
She and once again, Tammy, appreciate your connections.
Yes.
The drummer for Chicago, current drummer for Chicago, is going to be on with us later on in the year. Also, Michael Hansen, who was the original member and drummer for Glass Tiger,
Yes.
one of my favorite groups.
Yes.
She got that one arranged for us as well. So we've got some good ones coming up. We are honored. Steve Lynch. I don't know if I told you that, DH. I got him firmed up yesterday.
Awesome.
Steve
I knew
Lynch
you
is
were
the
working on it.
co-founder of Autograph.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
That's gonna be, I can't wait.
And lead
Turn it
guitarist
up.
for Autograph. So
it
turn up your radio for
That's
that one.
right.
Turn up your radio for that one that night. So that's for sure. That's coming up in August. So got a lot of cool stuff, man. A lot of cool stuff coming up.
Yes.
And we are blessed to be able to do this and have fun with it with folks like AJ and Jeff, for sure,
Yes.
joining in and having some fun and talking the great 80s with us. And as I always like to try to kind of close out the show, DC always says, keep playing those 80s. So Nashville, we'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Thanks,
From-
guys.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Love
Thanks,
you.
AJ. Thanks,